What you saying, boy? What you saying? You city folk came out here to my little town and you say you've seen a murder on the outskirts of my town? My town? No. That's gotta be kids just messing around. Kids just playing. Maybe they just killed a dog or a cat or something. You didn't see a murder for real, did you now? What I recommend you folks do, you good city folks, you get back in that luxurious camper van of yours and you head out of town. You go east, don't go north. Big wind up north, big wind. Knocked all the power lines down, all the telephone lines, lots of detours and diversions. You don't want to go up that way. No, you go. My two deputies, Lucifer, Beelzebub, they're going to escort you out of town. Make sure you get on the right road. Don't you worry about nothing. If there's been a murder around here, I'll sort it out. Have a good day now, you hear? Hey folks, KILT-MAN here. KILT-MAN at your services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Let's get rid of this bloody silly hat. Well, Race with the Devil from 1975. The 70s and the late 60s and a little bit early 60s were full of the devil. The devil was huge. You'd had a summer of love. Of course you had. You know, flower power and all that. And then, oh, the dark twist. Vietnam played a huge part in this. The devil in man. The devil is everywhere. Satan is everywhere. And people were following Satan. So you had occultists, Satanists. And the movies reflected all this massively. You go back early 60s to City of the Dead, aka Horror Hotel, a really hokey horror hotel. I've reviewed it. Christopher Lee, and it's a Massachusetts town with a witch been, burned, and the curse on the town, and oh god, and you got all cloaked, occultists, and you'd see this again, the occult and people who are in on it, and the big conspiracy, Rosemary's Baby, the Devil's Rain, where everyone melts at the end. Oh, the Devil's Rain, oh, fantastic movie. Oh my god, what else? Ooh, well, The Exorcist, The Omen, people in on things. The Devil was huge. There's other movies too. I did write them all down. The Omega Man as well at the time. Charlton Heston adaptation of I Am Legend. One of my favourite novels of all time. The Omega Man, one of my favourite films of all time. Not the greatest adaptation of that book, but it's actually a superb film in its own right. They're not vampires as in the original prose. They are mutants, but they wear satanic robes with hoods. Someone out there is obviously selling these things to all these mutants, doing a roaring trade. You must wear this uniform. You've got to look like a Satanist. But it ill fits into the whole thing about the devil being huge again. Late 60s, early 70s. And then you get this movie, Race with the Devil. A fantastic genre mashup. It is basically a cult satanic thriller meets road action chaos. It does act in many ways as a precursor to Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, in many, many ways. And it's brilliant. It doesn't make two licks of sense, but it doesn't matter. It's a nightmare movie. It's a Twilight Zone story wrapped into a feature-length film, but with more violent thrills and spills and far more action. And I love it. I first encountered it on TV, UK terrestrial TV, back in probably, it came out in 75. I would say 79, 80 it was on TV, and I encountered it then. Great cast. Peter Fonda from Easy Rider. You've got Warren Oates, the Wild Bunch. Bring me the head of Alfredo Garcia. Loretta Swit. Hot Lips Houlihan from MASH. Lara Parker from many, many TV shows and horror as well. Dark Shadows. And these play two married couples. The two blokes, Warren Oates and Peter Fonda, own a motorcycle company in Texas, San Antonio. They do sidecar racing. Sidecar racing? Did I make that bit up? I didn't see any sidecars in it at all. They do dirt bike riding, track and scrambling and all that kind of stuff. But they own this company and modifications on motorbikes and all that. But they're going to go away on a long-awaited holiday across state. They're going to leave Texas and they're going to travel all the way, I think, to Colorado. They're going to go skiing. They've got skis there and all sorts. That's what the idea is. But they've got the bikes on the back of this camper van. The camper van in question, oh my God, the Vogue. I've got the details on this. You won't believe this. 75. This RV, recreational vehicle, a luxurious 1975 Vogue Villa Grande, 32-foot recreational vehicle, a large motorhome with modern amenities like a colour TV, 4-hob grill and cooker, microwave, shower, and satanic runes on the back window is optional. But it's gorgeous. We're now in 2026, and looking at the movie now and looking at that van, that camper van, it looks amazing now. In the UK, we have tons and tons of daytime TV shows where, the big prize and the big bonanza prizes, £150,000 in tax-free cash, as much merch as you can carry in your arse pockets, and this amazing camper van. Now, nothing's changed. Showers and all fitted, kitchens fitted, luxurious dining areas and fucking lounge area, big screen TVs and all. That's what they had in 75. So nothing's fucking changed. And now they're big, oh my God, big luxurious prize on today's TV. And these guys have got it. So they're going to go away on this luxurious little trip. And it's Peter Fonda playing Roger Marsh, Lara Parker as Kelly, his missus, and they've got a little dog. They've got a little doggy, little tiny doggy, little cute doggy. You know it's doomed, don't you? 70s, dog equals doomed in movies. Warren Oates as Frank Stewart, and Loretta Swit is his missus, Alice. So they all go in. It's all great. Oh, yeah, let's go. I'm doing that driving thing again, because I can't drive. I always do this, which we'd be fucking weaving all over the bloody show, wouldn't we? Off they go, and of course they drive off the beaten roads, and let's just lay up for the night. And it's cold. No, it's Texas, and it's all filmed in Texas. I've got the locations: San Antonio, leaky, prone to flooding, Bandera, Castroville, and Tarpley. And Tarpley is where they sort of camp for the night during the early part of the movie. They camp for the night, everything's great, it's all cushy-la, everything's happy, and it gets cold out there. And the ladies are retired to bed with a little pooch. And the men folk are outside. They've got a little an awning that's come over, the props are up and all that, and they're there, dry martinis or whatever the fucking hell they're drinking. I shall return to my Courvoisier. Nothing but the best for Kilty and you guys, Courvoisier. Cheers, y'all. And they hear chanting and weirdness. It's night time, obviously. They're in the middle of nowhere. There's a little river running through, a little valley, river, other side, wailing, chanting, flame goes up. Well, what be that then? Get the binoculars out. Oh, there's people dancing around. They're wearing robes. What are they doing? They're dancing, they're wailing, they're chanting. Sounds great. Let's get a bit closer and have a little closer look. Disrobing takes place. Maybe, hey, maybe it's an orgy. Come on, maybe it's an orgy. Give me them binoculars. Give me them. No, I want them. No, I'm looking. No. Stop fighting. We can share one eyepiece each. And they see a murder take place. Oh yeah, young girl, nudified, lying prostrate, great big occult sacrificial dagger, whoosh, and they're like, shit. Women put the lights on, like, and like, what's all that noise out there? And I'm like, shut up, turn the lights off. And of course, all these fucking Satanists over yonder, go get him! Get in the van! Get in the van! Like, don't bother taking the awnings down. Let's just drive. Off they go, getting pursued by barely nipply men with like red robes on, but they basically naked beyond the red robes, running across, the hills and the dunes and across the riverbed and all that, and like running after them. And of course they get stuck. The wheels are turning around. Oh, we need traction. Let's go and get bits. Great suspenseful scene. Let's get some fucking traction. They finally get the vehicle moving as all these bastards catch up with them and leap on the back, and they're getting punched off and smashed off the thing, smashed into trees. They go flying everywhere, and our people escape and go to the local town. And I met with Sheriff RG Armstrong playing Sheriff Taylor. RG Armstrong for many movies, TV shows, and barely ever plays a nice guy. You know him, you've seen him, he's in The Car, which you're hearing the soundtrack from The Car right now. There's a reason why I'm playing that. The same composer did The Car, did Race to the Devil, and a lot of the other bits of music you're going to hear on this playlist. Because you can't get the soundtrack for Race to the Devil these days. I've got bits of it, but I've not got the proper full scores. But you're gonna hear it in a bit though. So, but you meet Sheriff Taylor, RG Armstrong, who he's all nice and friendly. He's been in Sam Peckinpah movies, but the nicest time I've ever seen him, was in Predator, where he is the general that enlists Major Dutch Schaefer, obviously Arnie and his team. It's been a long time, General. You're looking good, Dutch. And it's RG Armstrong, and he's not Texas born, but there are many people from Texas who are in this movie. This whole film is set and filmed around Texas. It's a Texas pride and joy, this film. Anyway, so he listens to their story. The mayor, do you say? Okay. Well, and like, he's got Deputy Dave, I think it's called. Deputy Dave, played by Wes Bishop, who's the writer of the movie. Two writers of the movie, Wes Bishop and I forgot the guy's name, Lee Frost. Lee Frost was initially directing this movie as well, but it wasn't liked what he was doing. There was friction, and he was out the way. And they brought in Jack Starrett. Jack Starrett, who is, to you and me, most famous for playing Deputy Galt in First Blood. Well, the man said, clean him up. Clean him up. Well, what do you know? Oh, here he is, a soldier. Rambo, John Jay. Yeah. Jack Starrett was an actor, stuntman, director, and well-known sort of, celebrity in Texas. He was actually dating, or not, dating gives it a bit of respectability. He was seeing and having fun with Lara Parker, who plays Peter Fonda's missus in this movie. And that's how she got the part, because she knew him. And I said, well, bring her in. The man said, bring her in, so bring her in. And Jack Starrett took over everything. We'll talk a lot more about all of this. But the plot-wise, RG Armstrong is there like, okay, well let lady folk stay in town, and we'll go out there and we'll go and check out what you said. This scene by this bizarre tree you're talking about. So they go out there, and it is immediately you've got to be completely dumbass not to realise that he knows where they're going already. They hadn't even told him. They gave him the barest minimal description of where the location was, this sacrificial murder. And but they go straight there, him and Deputy Dave. And on the way there, him and Deputy Dave are sitting in the front, Warren Oates, Peter Fonda in the back, and they're like, you know, they're laughing and joking about, like, remember them kids we caught? They were killing cats and dogs and all that. Like, oh yeah, that was crazy. That, yeah. But they've got these grins on their faces and that knowing look in their eyes. This is a film about knowing looks, people knowing things that you don't know, you know, and that's the catalyst for this movie. So they get out there and look, this is where it happened. They killed her right here because there's nothing there now. Obviously nothing. There are no bodies, but there is blood. There is blood. See, that's blood there. But the sheriff goes around a tree and goes like, "Oh, the blood came from this. It's just a bunch of kids." As I said, they killed a dog, and there's a dog hanging there, like. And so he goes, "Well, we'll get some samples of this blood, and we'll make sure that no killing ever took place here. I don't know what you guys saw, but don't you worry about a thing. We'll sort this out. You guys, you go get your wives and you go out of town and enjoy the rest of your holidays and all that, like your vacation." And so they go back to town, and of course these guys don't believe fucking word of this. Like, they're like, or what's happened is, like, there is blood on the deck. There's a dog hanging from a tree which has been sliced up. But Peter Fonda has took a bit of a sample of the bloody sand, the bloody dirt, put it into a little baggie, and he's got that. So they go back. Now, in the meantime, the two ladies have gone to the local library and checked up on, like, as you do, you know, in a little Texan backwater, you know, it's got a library which has got books on the occult. But having said that, given what this film's actually about, yeah, they probably would have. They'd have the entire library would be like an H.P. Lovecraftian, you know, treasure trove of all the occult rituals of the Necronomicon and beyond. So, but they find a few books. But oh, you're not from around here, you can't take these books out. But they nick them anyway. And of course they go back to the other camper van, and of course they all reconvene there. And they're all talking. Now, their back window has been smashed out by one of these chasing nipple-tastic Satanists. Cheers, John. I couldn't find the floor for a second there. I was like, my God, it's gone lower. Maybe I'm sinking into hell. Now I'm talking about this movie, finally. But they've got this guy to, like, fix well, just put a back panel in. The back window's been smashed in, so put a back panel up there. Okay, right. And this is why the film takes the turn that it does take. At this point in time, these two couples could get away with no issues. The sheriff would go like, "Oh, we got the blood samples, you know, don't worry about this. We'll get back in touch with anything we need you for, but don't worry about it." So they could drive out of there. But no, the guy putting the back panel in, he hears what they're saying. And of course, the two women are going like, we found these books. The Aztecs did blood sacrifices to, you know, appease their gods and Satan and the devil and blah, 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 blah. You know, that's what you guys have seen. And they're going like, well, but what about the blood? You know, I don't trust that sheriff at all. No, I don't trust him. Peter Fonda goes like, well, that's why I've got some sand of my own with the blood from where we saw the killing take place. So what say we all go down to the big city and we'll get this tested, not by the sheriff and his obviously in on it, you know, medical examiner and forensics. We'll get it done by the city sheriff and all that. Like, right, great idea. But the guy outside obviously hears this. We know that he hears this. You know, they realise he's there, and they kind of shut, you know, some partition across. But he still listens in on the whole thing. And this is why the rest of the film takes the route that it takes. They could have got out of there, and, you know, it would have been like their story against the sheriff's story. But because they know they've got the real blood from the real killing, this guy now knows that. He tells the sheriff, right, the chase is on. And we see them leave town with their patched up back window and all that, like, and we see like there's a red sort of Chevy fucking van truck thing, you know me in vehicles, I don't know what it is, it's red anyway, and it follows them. So it goes out of town, and we see like the sheriff waving to him. You'll have a good time now, y'all folks, to all his Satanist buddies, because that's the point. The whole point of this movie is that everyone is a Satanist in this film. Everyone except for our two couples and the little doggy. Everyone is a Satanist and they're all in on it. So our guys drive off, and wherever they go there's a detour, because now it's known that they've got this little bag of bloody sand, and they're going to find out that the real murder took place. That's not dog blood, it's going to be human female blood, and they're going to come after you guys. So from that point onwards, they are dogged, chased, pursued by Satanists in every place they go to. They'll go to a little they go to this lovely sort of caravan park with swimming pools. Bear in mind, it's freezing cold. They film this in wintertime, Texan wintertime. So everybody is totally perishingly badly cold. And which again is another sort of connection to Mad Max 2, filmed in Broken Hill in Australia, of course. But it was wintertime and it was perishingly badly cold. And they're all wearing minimal, wasteland armour, lots of flesh on show. If you're a gay boy berserker, which is what Wes Vernon Wells plays, he's got his arse cheeks on show. And a lot of the gay boy berserkers had their arse cheeks on show, and they were big blue buttocks because it was freezing fucking cold. So they end up in this sort of resort, and in a really rather naff continuity error, as they pull in to this resort, you see Loretta Swit and Lara Parker. As the camper van cruises in like this, you see them walking through the crowds towards the swimming pool. It is Loretta Swit and Lara Parker, the two women from the camper van, and they're about to get changed to the swim, very sort of dazzlingly bodacious swim gear. 75, but it's really it's racy stuff that they're wearing, all stripped away in bits and bobs, and they've both got phenomenal bodies. Loretta Swit, who died just last year. By the way, everyone in this movie is dead. Everyone is dead. They're all dead. The director, the producer, everybody, all the stars, everybody is dead in this movie. And they both look fantastic. And you see them, and like once you've seen the film, you go like, that's them. And it's a really, that's a bit of a naff moment, because they're cutting through the crowds and going to the swimming pool. So in the film itself, in the story, they park up and they meet immediately, other people who are, hey neighbours, and all that shit like. But our two birds get into their very revealing, very spectacular swim gear and go for a dip in the pool. In reality, it was so cold, they were paying all the people to, can you get in the water? Because we want kids and people in the water. They're paying them, extra dollars. Please get in the water. Just do it for the, it's a film. We'll do it for nothing. Sploosh, And Loretta Swit, Lara Parker playing Peter Fonda's missus, whose name is Kelly. She's had premonitions already. When they first got to the camping zone where they witnessed the murder, they go for a walk. The two guys, Oates, Peter Fonda, go on their bikes. They go on Kawasaki 125 Trows bikes. Now Peter Fonda could ride these bikes. He did most of his own stunts for this movie as well. He could do all this. Oates could ride one of these, but not very well. So most of it, the scenes of While the two women go for a little walk with a little doggy, these two guys are like just fucking going over dunes and things and flying over things, like skidding round corners and round trees and all that. And they're placing bets. I'll get back before you. And of course, Peter Fonda gets back before Warren Oates. Warren Oates takes a dive goes over a big fucking lump of land, lands in a big quarry, boosh, splash down. And but Warren Oates weren't doing any of that at all. He was much older. He was at least 15 years older than Peter Fonda, which kind of makes their camaraderie. The two of them own this motorcycle company and racetrack. But but the thing is, in reality, Peter Fonda and Warren Oates were mates. So you can't say like these two guys in the film, well, they're so massive age gap. Why would they be buddies? But in reality, they were. So it makes sense. Cheers, Joe. But what we're saying about Lara Parker's character, she, before the murder takes place, she gets the shivers. The dog's like barking at the tree. You got this demonic tree, like this one here. It's called like strangely shaped. And the tree, by the way, is real, but it's relocated. It was a real tree. They uprooted it and put it in this location. So there you go. All production design. But the dog sees the tree and it's like little tiny timid little bark, 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 and she's like kind of like, ooh, I got the creeps around here. It's foreshadowing. So you get all this, you get a lot of this in the movie. And she's the one that when they get in the pool, her and Loretta Swit, they're in the pool. Loretta Swit's giving it loads, looking luxurious, and like Lara Parker's there, and suddenly she's treading water and looks around the swimming pool, and all these real life Texan local faces, all harried and anguished and like been through the Dust Bowl and beyond, and they're all like staring at her with like kind of like like this little look. We know something about you. Sinister, methinks. Yeah. And she's like, and Loretta Swit's going like, what's wrong? Yeah, I don't want to swim anymore. I've had enough of this. Let's get out of it. Can't you see them? Look at them all. And these people are all like, and there's women and there's kids all like staring in. It's really overt. It's beyond ridiculous. If she'd gone back and told me, and I was Peter Fonda, everyone was staring at me. They're all, and she was upset. I would have gone back and kicked severe ass. But they're kind of like, oh no, that's just no, these are all weirdos. But it's Texas. Adios. And no, we'll be all right. And these people from another camper van, played by, this is interesting, played by, oh fucking hell, I've written it down. Clay Danner plays Delbert, known as Jack. Delbert Jack Henderson, and his wife Ethel Henderson, played by Carol Blodgett. Clay Tanner, he comes in like with his wife and like, hey neighbours, look, we've got some drinks. Are you going out for a drink later? We can tell you where to go for a drink, where to go for a meal, where the best roadhouses. We can. Oh, the bands are fantastic. The music's great. We can dance and like, hey, you just, do you mind? You didn't even knock on our door. But he's like, oh, wow, this camper van's amazing. 4 hobs. You got a shower back there. Oh, sorry, didn't know there were ladies back here. They're getting changed at the swimming costume. Didn't know the ladies back here. Sorry about that, ma'am. But me and my missus are here, and we're going to take you guys out for a meal. Sorry, I've got the old dryness has took place. I've had a bit of whiskey today as well. So anyway, so they do go out with them. They can't shut the fuckers up. So they go out with them to a little roadhouse thing on site. And it's, and I'll be honest, the country and western band, who are real, they're playing some great stuff. I've tried to find the songs that they're playing, and I can't find them. But I'd love to. There's one really catchy one. And of course, everything's, this couple are a bit like fucking in their face sort of thing. I'll tell you something about, what's his name? Oh God. Clay Tanner as Delbert. Clay Tanner played Satan in Rosemary's Baby during the rape scene of Mia Farrow. So already, if you know your stuff and you recognise his voice and his face, you know, and he is the devil in Rosemary's Baby. So it's kind of crafty then, isn't it? You know, Lovecrafty, devil crafty, but it's crafty regardless. Anyway, Peter Fonda and Lara Parker do some dancing, all country fucking, you know, line stepping, fucking line dancing bullshitty, and a fight breaks out, a big proper bar brawl, and everyone's loving it, yeah, and there's chairs being smashed through people's heads, there's people getting thrown over the bar, there's all like boosh, boosh, duck, smash a bottle in the face, all that kind of stuff. And this film has an enormous amount of stuntmen involved in it. LA stuntmen, run by a guy called, believe it or not, Paul Knuckles. Paul Knuckles runs the stunt team that's in this movie, of which there are about 100 people, maybe even more. So you've got this entire fight sequence breaks out, and even the costume designer gets involved in it as well. She's there, and you see her get smacked in the face and thrown over a table or something like. And it shows the sort of camaraderie and the willingness to get this film done. It's produced by Paul Maslansky, who's dead as well now. Directed by Jack Starrett, as I say. And once the original director, who was one of the co-writers, was ousted from the directorial spot, and Jack Starrett came in, everybody, they thought that there could be some argy-bargy here, but there wasn't. And they were working, you know, in cold environments, extreme sort of stunts, heavy stuff, and everyone just got on board and had a great time with it. They just like lock, stock and barrel, we're doing this. It's low budget, but we've got big stars and we're going to go for this. And it totally, you can see it. It's a great, exciting set piece, thrill packed movie. So anyway, big fight breaks out. They all get away from all that, like, and you know, the Satanist couple, they're like, hey, this is great, you know, because they're not playing the part of what you expect Texan rednecks to be doing. So our two couples go back to the camper, and they see, yes, remember that little doggy I keep mentioning? Well, the little doggy's hanging from the door, the camper van. It's been killed, probably disemboweled and all. And apparently it's a real dog hanging there. Now hang on, this film has two dogs hanging from things, dead, in the film, dead. I think the German Shepherd dog at the start, when like they're trying to, oh, that blood is from the murder victim. But no, this dog's been found here hanging as well. Maybe the blood's from this dog. Well, that dog, it was a real dog, was tranquilized and was hanging there, and it wasn't harmed. Trust me. Oh god, here we go. Here's the fucking wailing and shrieking and chanting. I'm gonna get off this, it gets really annoying. Yeah, it genuinely does get annoying. This is nice and dainty. This is the score of the movie as well. But I think the dog that's hanging from the camper van door is a prop. And of course it's screaming and wailing, oh my god, they killed my dog, they killed our dog. And like, you're like, oh, Jesus. And they turn around, and loads of the folks who went to the bar room brawl, all the other camper van residents, all old fogies, are all just standing there in like a sort of Invasion of Body Snatchers sort of line, you know, just standing there, you know, sort of uniform, blank looks on their faces, expressionless, emotionless. And there's a bit of, you know, there's one of those things like, you must have seen it, some of you must have seen what happened here, you must have heard what happened here, what the, you know. Again, I'm going to say what I would do. I'm afraid heads would roll. You kill my dog, my pet, you intimidate my family, I'm going to kill you. On the spot, no judge, no jury, no war is going to stop me from doing it. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to take you out. And at least our boys do shout. And I think Warren Oates gets the wheel, and he's like, and he does drive at them. You better get that fucking way, and they do fucking move, like, but anyway, they encounter roadblocks, detours aplenty, you know, and they are sussing out the hang on. Everyone seems to know something about us. They're everywhere. They killed the dog, you know. But it can't be the same thing. No, we've got to get to the town. We've got to get to the city. We've got to get to the city in Texas whose name I cannot remember. Doesn't really matter because they don't get there anyway. But they know, right? Look, everyone. There's people involved in this, but we can get it. We're doing good. We're doing good. They buy a shotgun. They go to a sporting goods store and they buy a shotgun. And the shotgun that they buy is Peter Fonda's real shotgun from a yacht that he owned. And he had the shotgun on board the boat because of possible piracy and kidnappings. So protection, which I would recommend anyway. If you own a yacht and you do travel a while, you do need to be armed. You do. Preferably with like a nuclear sub, you know, backing you up, you know, maybe a Pacific fleet of aircraft carriers and frigates and destroyers. I can tell you what the gun is. I made a note of this as well. What is it now? It's a Remington 870 Wingmaster 12 gauge, and it is Fonda's own shotgun. Anyway, they buy this and a load of shells as well, and but wherever they go, people seem to know things. You've got this guy. They go and get gas from some guy. He looks like this. He's got like it's not like a birthmark. When I first saw this movie, I used to think he had a huge, horrendous birthmark on the side of his face. It's grease from he's a mechanic and all that. But he has a cat with him. And this is earlier on before the dog's being killed. And he says to him like, ooh, we better keep that big boy back. The little tiny dog they've got who's barking at the cat. You know, because Tabitha here, or whatever it's fucking called. Probably some satanic name which I can't remember. You know, because she's going to rip his head off and all that, you know. Because she ain't normal cat, you know. And he fills up with gasoline and all this. But you know that he's part of it too. And he's got the cat. The cat's familiar. The witchcraft thing, witches, warlocks are familiar. An animal, a pet, which can do things for them, and could be the spy on any possible enemies. So you've got all this going on as well. But they encounter snakes. You got snakes on the plane. You know, you've had snakes up in the toilets, alligators in the sewers, and you get snakes in the camper van. And for a very big, protracted scene, which I'll be honest, in a film which I love and adore, this scene goes on for way, way too long. Snakes are found. They pull over. Snakes are found, and I think it's a hitchhiker. There's a hitchhiker to distract them. I can't quite remember. They have to screech to a halt on the side of the road, and then the snakes make their appearance. And there's two of them, great big fuckers as well. So Warren Oates has his own battle with one, and Peter Fonda has his own battle. A bit like Indiana Jones when he lands it, and the glass screen is between. If you watch the original version of Raiders, there's a great big glass barrier between him and the snakes. You know, like that. But we can see the reflection there. Well, in this, it's Peter Fonda with a real life big fucking rattler, and he's right next to it, and he's like, and again does his own stunts in the movie, most of his own stunts. It's like and yeah, this goes on for a long time, and the reason why it does that is because for this sequence they couldn't do the scene on location on the road or in a resort or whatever, a gas station. They couldn't risk them snakes getting out, so it was done in a warehouse. So they brought the entire camper van into a warehouse. One of the only scenes where the only scene where it's filmed indoors in a set environment, and the snake battle goes on, and it caused controversy in the UK because you see one of the snakes getting hit with a ski pole, bang, bang, fucking bang, bang, and they manages to hook it up and fucking throw it out like, and both snakes are disposed of. But it's a long sequence, and if you like snakes, you won't like this scene because it does. I've got the full uncut version. I've only got hang on. Yeah, I've only got American version. I've got the DVD, and I've got a Blu-ray of it somewhere. Where did I put that? It's behind me somewhere. The American Blu-ray, and they're uncut. But the UK version did trim this sequence. And as I say, it kind of goes on for a bit too long anyway. But you know, it is what it is. But no, snakes were not killed, and they were sort of sedated a little bit, but they were still giving it enough bite to make the scene work. So anyway, they go on and you get a road chase, and the first of two big road chases where these vehicles just converge on them and people are leaping on the fucking backs of the camper van, and the stunts are incredible. This is 75. You get a lot of, like, you know, the camper van shunting vehicles off the road. You got people like fucking leaping onto the side of the camper van, smashing it up, ripping the sides of it. All the bumpers and all the shielding of the camper van is getting sheared off. Vehicles are going up and up, fucking, you know, huge slopes and coming back down and rolling over and over and over and over again. You got vehicles getting blown up, vehicles getting shunted off a bridge and exploding on the way down. I'll talk more about this because these two scenes happen in very quick succession and they are brilliant. And it is very, very similar to Mad Max 2. Mad Max in the the rig, holding that big fat tank of gas, you know. And the Marauders are going after him. Lord Humongous and Wes are going after him, hell for leather. And he's battering smaller vehicles off the road, and they're all clambering on. This does it, what, a good 6 years before Mad Max 2 did it. And it definitely does have that sharp adrenaline rush of like, just going for this, fucking like, smash off the road. He's on the side there, like fucking shake him off there. Right, we're losing bits of the vehicle all the time. We're getting rocked all over the place. It's phenomenally well done. So you have this chase, and they manage to like drive off a few vehicles and beat them, and then they get to another. They manage to get away from all that, and then I think we got through all this now. I think we're okay. We demolished all those. So right now, like, it's plain sailing. Don't forget, everywhere they've gone to, there's been places going like, you know, don't do that road. Now you've got to go this way because there's a big wind up north. Peter Fonda, every gas station they go to, tries to make a phone call to the police or anyone, you know, and God maybe, and they can't get through to anyone. Like, oh no, the phone ain't working because the phone lines are down. Big wind up north. They obviously chopped the fucking phone lines down. And cameos. Paul Maslansky who produced this, as a cameo. But Jack Starrett directed it, who's Galt from First Blood. He has a cameo here as well. And it's quite a large scene as well. And he's got like one of them big winter fucking silly, you know, deputy dog hats on, where you pull the fairy flaps around and tie them under your chin. He's got one of them hats on, like. And I forget, who does he play? He might have a name. Did I write his name down? I can't quite see. No, he's gas station guy, and he comes out and like, he's like, yeah, you got a busted taillight there, you got this, you got that, you know, but you know, I'll fill it up, you know, and but you can tell he's brilliant at this because Jack Starrett, because we know him from First Blood, and he watches movie back, you go like, oh my God, it's gold. But he's got that kind of like, that wiry look about him. He's got a big moustache on him. And he's just got like, I'm a old boy, country redneck, I don't care for outsiders. And like, I might be nice to your face, but you can tell by my demeanor and my eyes and the look I'm giving you that I know things you don't know. And I'm going to send you into hell, boy. That's exactly what he's doing here. Big wind up north. Well, where's the best town we can get to? Nearest town. Well, you want to go up, 7,800 miles. He says something ridiculous. It says like a ridiculous amount of mileage. 7,000. Well, it's something ridiculous. You'd be like, what? 7,800 miles that way. And you'll reach Armadillo County. Whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, right, yeah. But be careful of that big wind up north and all that, and all this kind of shit. Like, he's part of them. And of course, as they're driving along, they come to oh God, there's a huge road crash that's taken place. A school bus has been driven off the road. A school bus. There's tons of people there. There's school kids. There's ambulances. There's all like local residents. It's a bit of fucking nowhere. Who's all the local residents? But there's hundreds of people there, and like he's going like. Well, he's going. I'd say Warren Oates is driving. He's going like. They're going like, oh my God, what if that truck? It completely blindsided the school bus. Wow, look at that! And then suddenly Warren Oates just goes like, I don't believe a school bus on Sundays. Very, very good point. He says, pointing. Don't believe a school bus on Sundays. Puts his foot down and like fucking roars through them. And everyone's like leaping on, like, oh, you bastards. Fucking. Like all these people who were meant to be like, witnesses to like a horrible school bus disaster. They're all fucking bastards. And you get familiar faces. Stuntmen from the first chase, from the sacrificial murder. You've got the guy that was putting together the panel on the back window, who overheard them saying, I've got a blood sample which we're going to take to town. Yeah, him. You've got him there as well, who had what I thought was a birthmark at first, but not. Anyway, see, and all this kind of stuff, and you get another big chase takes place, and this one's even better. Because this one, the shotgun comes out, like they start using it, and they're blowing away the fucking vehicles chasing them. They get boxed in at one stage, and like fucking, they're going like that, and they're driving some of the pursuers into oncoming traffic. Because what it's going to do, if you're in that scenario and it's live or die, I'm afraid what you do is I shouldn't say this, but I'm afraid if you've got to get through this and survive, you're going to put those bad guys into the path of innocent people, and they do that. But you got to live. You got to live. Your morality goes out the fucking window. Got to live. Got to survive. Got to kill them. Doesn't sound good, does it? But I'm afraid you kind of taught this, so it happens. Anyway, there you go. But it's a great fucking chase sequence, and these fuckers clamber on again, like, and at high speed. You've got guys who do not look like muscle-bound stuntmen like you get in movies these days. These are real rodeo stars, motorcycle heroes, massive car drivers and stunt roly-poly bastards. But they could be roly-poly physically themselves. So you've got some fat bastards hanging on, but they're getting fucking knocked off and hitting the deck at high speed and rolling over, multiple contusions and fractures. Even despite the padding of the extra meatage on their bodies. But there's such a great moments when they realise, look, use the shotgun, kill them, because one fucker gets on the roof of it and he's trying to rip the ventilation sort of thing, little plastic cap ventilation, to pour gasoline down there and then set fire to it, and they're going, it's gasoline, and they only realise, well, Peter Fonda's gone to Warren Oates, gets a shotgun, and the two of them exchange a look, There's one smashing through the back window, and he's going like, a piece of Fonda just got his big sunglasses on, just goes like, boosh, and fucking blows, just goes, bah, blows him away, hits the deck, just tumbles over, and then the guy on the roof. So Peter Fonda gets out, and they go, "Don't go out there, you know, don't go on the roof." But he climbs up there, and like fucking, you know, beep 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 beep. Warren Oates, beep 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 beep. There's a low bridge coming up, so it's daft as fuck. Like, so like Peter Fonda just goes like, "Hey," and ducks, and this other guy goes, gets hit by this fucking low bridge, boof, knocks off, down the roof, hits the deck, gets run over by vehicles. You're like, yes! They nudge another vehicle over a bridge and it explodes. It's a bit of a continuity error. Well, not continuity error. You can see how the stunt was done. You know, explosive canisters in it. There's a safety railing on the bridge, and the vehicle goes over a ramp and doesn't go through the safety railing. You know, look, we're now used to watching incredible stunts in movies from Mad Max onwards, really. But this film set a precedent for road action stunts. So I'll forgive them for that. They did a massive barrel roll. Now, the barrel roll, I wrote this. The first cannon roll was in '74, the year before this, for the John Wayne movie McHugh, with Gary McClarty at the wheel, stuntman Gary McClarty. Now, in this movie, they do the same thing. When it goes fuck, fucking whatever and beyond. Like, I don't think it was Gary McClarty at the wheel of this one, but it wasn't the first one. I thought it may have been. That's why I did some research on it, and no, McHugh was the first. But anyway. But it shows you, after McHugh, say, you know, the Dirty Harry movies with road chases and stuff, and Bullets, obviously, and the French Connection, you know, suddenly you had real earthy stunts where people are clambering from high-speed vehicle to another high-speed vehicle and being thrown off and hitting the deck all in one shot. Vehicles being shunted off the road and smashing, colliding, crashing. Vehicles going up rises and fucking tumbling back down, and the barrel roll. Tons of this film has that in spades. It's a film that has its occult thrills and scares and shock tactics and unease and unnerving elements. The staring faces, you know, we all know something you don't know, and oh dear. And then it gives you it delivers on the action. Massive sort of, this would be a drive-in splendor. You can imagine how this would have just really engaged everybody, all audiences, because it's so fucking exciting. Anyway, so they survived this. The camper van is ripped to shreds. They had 2 camper vans, as you'd expect. One for the interiors and one for all the stunts. The hero one for the stunts. And that was totaled. That got fucking totaled. But anyway, after this second big chase scene, people getting shotgunned off and all, like, whoosh, and like fucking turn them over and like, oh, wreck all these vehicles, and we got away with it. Yes, they drive for a bit longer, and like, wow, we're doing really well here. Look, they look like shit. They're all over the plate. Their camper van is like hanging all. It's like spaghetti on wheels, but they're still driving down the freeway and all that, like. And then he comes to like a huge diversion. Everyone's wearing those primitive, bright orange 70s high-vis vests, and little, you know, the fucking, you know, building site helmets and all that, like, and like, oh, sweeping, digging, diggers and fucking all sorts of, like, move that over there and signposts here. And they go, and the thing is, they fall for this lock, stock and barrel. They've sussed every other little trap out straight away, really. But this one, they're going like, well, oh, it's got to be an official one, this. And I think Warren Oates spots like a sign on the door of one of these trucks, these big, industrial trucks, and it says like whatever it says, like the county, whatever. He goes, oh, we're safe here. There's a big detour. Oh, we've got to. Everyone go this way. Everyone go this way. Now, producer Paul Maslansky has a cameo here. He's one of the diggers on the road and all that. Like, he doesn't say a word, like, but he's there anyway. And all the production people got involved. Costume designer say was in the bar brawl. Jack Starrett, the director, plays the gas station attendant, and Paul Maslansky's in there. Anyway, so a lot of them are in there, but they really fall for this. And I'd be like, but then again, the whole road's been dug up, so they can't go across it. They've got to go on that detour. So they go on a detour. Oh, we're going to be fine now. We're you know where I'm going with this, and it is a bugbear. It's one of those great memorable endings, but it's also monumentally ridiculous at the same time. It is. I'm not going to sit here right now and defend it on any sort of narrative virtue, because it doesn't have any. It's ridiculous, but it's Twilight Zone. It's Tales of the Unexpected. It's one of those sort of avenues. So anyway, they drive off, and the sun begins to dip and all that, and you see the camper van on it, which you saw in the first third when they first encounter the Satanists driving up along. It's night time. Well, let's take a side road here. Let's just go and sit off. We've got plenty of time now. But all the hell's behind us. Look, if you haven't seen the film, you already know where I'm going with this. You already know. So they drive up and hey, right, we can calm down now. All the shit's behind us. And I think Peter Fonda says I'm going to make you guys the driest martinis the world has ever known. So he starts mixing drinks and all that, and then suddenly, well, I'll get onto this because I have it. If I could find the cursor, God. I'm gonna go into. Suddenly, they hear this outside, and out in the darkness, they see a tree. They see a fire, and the tree, the devil tree, is illuminated. And they hear all this shit, and they're like, what? You can see why I wasn't playing all this, because it's so fucking aggravating. And I'm going to speed this on a little bit here. So this is that noise there. That the camera pans up and we see the camper van, and it's encircled by a ring of fire, and suddenly hundreds of red-robed Satanists converge on them, and we see all the faces in the cowls. RG Armstrong as the sheriff, the couple from the resort. Jack Starrett, fucking everyone you've seen in the bloody movie is there. And what they say is that they had no ending for the film. So obviously they can't get out. I should say they can't get out. That's they're trapped, and they've gone all this way, all this fucking 1,000-mile round route, being diverted and tricked and detoured, and ended up back where they started from. Okay, in a half-hour sort of story, that works. That'll work. In a feature-length movie, it doesn't really work. Now, look, I'm not knocking this film much. I love this. I grew up with this movie. I love it to bits. It's a real pleasure of mine to watch it. I'm not even saying guilty because I love the film that much, but it's fucking stupid. I don't care what you say. It's ridiculous. They don't realise, they don't recognise that road they're on again. They're from Texas. They know these fucking highways and byways. They know where they are. I'm like, oh, hang on. Didn't we stop here just a couple of nights ago? and we saw a murder. They go up the same dirt road and like fucking the reason why it happens is the story and the writers did not know how to end the film. Didn't have a clue. Right, we want like a twist at the end. We want that. How are we going to do it? Well, let's have them detoured all the way back to the same place. And suddenly they're going to be the new sacrifice. Well, yeah, that's great. It makes no bloody sense. And of course, they didn't film it that way. They filmed up until, the last detour, really. The diversion with all the roadworks. And then all the rest of that footage is just, stock footage from earlier on in the movie. The tree lighting up and they wailing and screaming and all that. Like, they obviously filmed all the coven moving in and wrapping themselves around them and the overhead shots of the camper van with the encirclement of fire. But the interior of Peter Fonda, Warren Oates, Lara Parker and Loretta Swit, it's all done in jerky slow motion and freeze frames, and it's all from earlier points in the movie because they never brought them back to film that conclusion because they have no idea what they were going to do with it. What are they going to do? How are they going to get there? How are they going to react to it? And you're left now with the idea that, well, they are now the new sacrifice. What does this film tell us about satanic cults in America during the 70s? They were everywhere. They ruled. If that was the case and they witnessed this fucking murder, they'd just kill him in the town. They'd stop him. Well, the next ones, or just fuck off and say whatever you want, because everyone you go to in San Antonio or Armadillo or Amarillo, fucking hell, whatever it, Armadillo, all these other fucking places, well, they're all part of us too. If the devil cult is that powerful, they don't need to do all this shit. It's ridiculously overblown, really convoluted. Oh, everybody's in on it. If everyone's in on it, they could have been off to any moment and it'd be covered up. There'd be no reason to have, well, as I said before, they could have got away with it because, the Sheriff Taylor, RG Armstrong and Deputy Dave, Deputy Dave, they go out there and they're laughing and joking because they know, well, we're all part of this, and but we'll go along with you guys, and but we don't want to kill you because you mean fuck all to us. You're not part of our actual ritual, so we're not going to kill you now unless we have to. So we'll get this blood sample and we'll sort this out. Don't you worry about it. We'll sort it out. But then they find out that they've got a real blood sample. Oh shit! Right, okay, now we've got to kill you. But they could kill him at any fucking moment. So, what's it say about this satanic cult? They really, really love taunting and teasing and, tormenting their victims, as certain satanic cults do like to do. Cheers, y'all. This film wasn't written with that in mind. It was written to cash in on the whole devil phase running through Hollywood at this particular time. For a good 10 years. I say the early 60s to the mid 70s. Certainly. And, on that basis alone, it genuinely works. But it brings in the whole sort of road action movie as well. Like it had Peter Fonda doing Easy Rider and, oh god, Crazy Man. What's it fucking called? I always forget this. Here's the Blu-ray. Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry, which of course Peter Fonda had done. And did a lot of stunts, road action, motorcycles, bikes and fucking cars. Newest stuff. So this whole burgeoning thing about like road action was just smashed together with the occult. And it became like just what a great mismatched genre mashup. But it works. It genuinely works. It is stupid because at the end, what? We're surrounded by these cunts. There's a ring of fire. Well, I'm going to put your foot down. I'm going to fucking drive through it. Done it before. We'll do it again. You're gonna get through that. You've got a shotgun there. You know, you're not gonna just sit there and die. In a way, it kind of, the Wicker Man, perhaps, the big sacrifice of burning. Maybe that comes into it too. Although the Wicker Man is not witchcraft, it's Wiccan. It's not witchcraft. And you can argue till the cows come home about whether the Wicker Man is actually a horror film or not. I've done videos about this. I've reviewed the film many times on different platforms, and you can view it as a horror film, which I like to do, but you can view it as not a horror film at all, because the people of Summerisle, they believe in what they're doing. So, you know, it's just, we're only reenacting our faith. It's not horror. We're not monsters. We just have to do what we do for the fertility rights and to bring the crops back and all that. So we're not monsters. This, however, they are clearly Satanist bastards, you know. Quite what they're going to reenact and what they intend to perpetuate or bring forth is beyond anyone's fucking, you know, understanding. Texans, though. Texans, there you go. and there is like a demonic mask that they're the main fucking, yeah, messianic. Oh, oops a daisy there. Freudian slip. Demonic. You know, head honcho does. You know, he's got a great mask there. And the nudity is fogged out, apart from the sacrificial victim, who you do see a bit of body, but the rest of them are dancing around. They are fogged out, which is a bit unusual, I suppose. You'd have a lot of nudity pre this movie, late 60s and early 70s, plenty of nudity, plenty of devil worshipy stuff with lots of you know, nubile young ladies involved. So, you know, it's a bit weird why they did it that way. But as I say, the conclusion, they have no idea where to go with it. We've got them here, but what do we do now? But it works as a nightmare scenario. It genuinely works. God, you've been through all of this. You know, the murders, the chases, the intimidation, killing your dog, the snakes, and all this kind of shit. And you've got all this fucking way, and you end up right back where you started from. You know, it is the road trip, well, not from hell, but to hell. I love this movie. I think it's great. Leonard Rosenman does the score, and my God, if you know your movie scores, you know this guy, this composer, did many horror scores. Did other genres too, and quite famously as well. But it's the genre scores which we love, of course. And the Dies Irae, you're hearing now from The Car, which I've reviewed, done a watch party for The Car, one of my favourite movies. Again, it's demonic, but it's a demonic fucking sedan, a black sedan, the devil's own car, cruising the you know, the Santa Ynez deserts, killing every deputy under the sun, killing every resident possible. It's a brilliant movie. And Rosenman is known for doing his tone pyramids of grief and strife, the escalating, rising bars of, you know, pure demonics. He did it for two Planet of the Apes movies. He did it for The Car, obviously. Lord of the Rings for Ralph Bakshi, the animated version, and this. And it's fucking incredible, but you can't get the score. This score was released, oh God, many years ago, and I never got it, but I've managed to find bits and bobs of the score. But of course, you've got all the wailing and the chanting as well, which is deeply unnerving and fucking annoying, to be honest. You know, like, if you were a Satanist, you know, part of these occult orgies, I don't know, you know, maybe there's some benefits to it, but if you put earplugs in, all the fucking chanting and squealing and wailing and all that, like, what else do I have? Oh, there's a load of stuff on here. It's The Devil Rides Out, of course, for Hammer. Dennis Wheatley's novel adapted by Hammer. Christopher Lee, Patrick McGee, and Charles Gray as McCarter. I've reviewed this movie as well, and again, it's about like Satanists and how their far-reaching influence has. And I think I told you on the review of this video how me and Mr. KILT-MAN encountered real-life Satanists, and two different wings of Satanists. Some who were like, oh, we're friendly, we're good guys. Don't advise me, Mr. KILT-MAN, don't go near them. Don't go near them. I'll do a video on that, because I didn't discuss that thing. I'm pretty certain I didn't discuss it in its entirety. Oh, don't expect anything like sacrifices. That doesn't happen. But it was meeting these people, this was back in the 90s, and it was like, whoa, this is strange. And it was a big, prestigious, event that we went to, and it was like, don't go near them, or they're bad. Well, aren't you bad as well? And the things on the walls. I mean, look around here. If they came here, they think, oh, you're one of us. They'd be doing all weird fucking handshakes, and I don't mean Masonic style. They don't do it that way. And but all the things that I've got on the walls here. Baphomet's here somewhere in the shadows. You can probably see him just about there. And they'd love it. They'd think, he's one of us. Welcome him, brethren. Welcome him into our smothering black wings. Fold around him. I'll tell you that story one day in its entirety. From what I remember, it was a long time ago, and fuck all really happened, to be honest. But or did it? Aye. But yeah, Race with the Devil. Hokey title. Really hokey, very simplistic story. They encounter and see a murder. They go on the run. They get pursued, and they get tricked, and they get brought back and sacrifice themselves. It's very, very simple sort of story, but it's primal. It's, these, you keep thinking these guys are going to get away with it, and it's one of those films, like even The Wicker Man I mentioned before. I watch The Wicker Man a lot, and I have the same feeling, when Sergeant Howie gets, he clubs the fucking knobhead, and he's dressed as the fucking jester and all that, like. And the fool, I should say. And he finds the girl who's been missing. Right, I'm gonna get you out of here. I'm saying I, but I'm saying you. All of us think he could get away with it. That's the beauty of the film. He can do this. He can get away with this. He's doing it. He's winning. And then, they're all there waiting for him. Hundreds of them. What are you going to do now? And this film is very similar to that. You watch it, and the excitement, and the way that they elude each successive pursuer. They shotgun away, they run them off the road, they do this, they do that. It's great what they do. And like they obviously they're killing people, and they're like, well, we've got to do this to survive. I said that before. You will have, if it comes down to your life and your family's lives, and some twat's life, well, they're dead, aren't they? Kill the twat. It's not fucking rocket science. There's no moralistic conundrum there. Oh, the liberal left. No, I can't take a life. But oh, how dare you? I hope you all saw the footage of a liberal lefty woman on New Year's Eve in Europe, who was parading around fully dressed in pink and giving it loads. Oh, is this one of multiculturalism? And she was stoned by Muslims. She got stoned. I've seen the footage. I've seen the full footage of it as well. Like, oh, she wasn't killed. Don't get that. But she was fucking pelted. Bang, bang, bang. And she was like, oh, these are the people you're defending, and look what they did to you. Stupid tosser. Well, the idiots will finally realise when it's too late, obviously. But there you go. There you go. Am I looking very rosy cheeked? Of course I am. Of course I am. And I've been drinking spirits. Spirits bring out the strawberryness in my cheeks these days. Or is it like my pure inner demonics making themselves hellishly manifest? Satanic cheeks. Maybe so. Who knows? Who cares? But Race with the Devil is well worth your time and effort. They all act brilliantly. It's great to see RG Armstrong and his sort of knowing look. He's like he's super friendly and super laughing and joking. But because he's laughing and joking, we know he's not right. And Peter Fonda and Warren Oates do kind of like, they sit in the backseat of the car. They're kind of like, this doesn't seem quite right to us. But, we've got to trust him. He's a copper, so, that's the way it is. And, oh God, and all the various people that he meets at the gas stations and, sort of like people fixing up the car, the camper van, they're all giving it loads. I've got this cat, you better keep that big old boy back because this cat's going to tear his fucking head off or whatever he says, and you can't trust anyone. This is the thing about America, has a deep-seated fear of its rural enclaves. Hills of Eyes, Deliverance, fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh, by the way, Franklin in the wheelchair in Texas Chainsaw has a small role in this movie as well. So there you go. Texan superstars are there. And rural rednecks, you can't trust them at all. But in America, that is definitely a thing. We've got it in this country too. Look at Slaughter the Lamb. You made me miss. I've never missed that board before. No one wanted him here. No one brought him here. It's in God's hands now. You can't let them go. You must go to them. And the thing is, movies aren't making that shit up, because it does happen. It happens even to this day. There are places in Wales and Yorkshire, Scotland, where if you don't belong, they'll make you realise that. They will, in looks, stares, lack of service at the bar, they'll make you know it. And it could be worse as well, obviously. And that's not even with the occult involved, so. And again, American Man from London, they believe in the occult. They believe, maybe not so much in Satan, but they believe in lycanthropy. They've got a werewolf living amongst them. So, and there's the howling for you right now. But try and time it. But they believe in the occult, and they don't like outsiders being there. Listen to it. See, you've got one of the posters here. You've got Peter Fonda and Warren Oates both firing shotguns. There's only one shotgun in it, as I said before, which is Peter Fonda's shotgun. God help you when the devil wants you. They witnessed an unspeakable act. It may cost them their lives. Oh dear Lord. He has no place here. I wonder, given today's ethnic climate of of dissent and animosity. Would we get a film or a story like this again, where it's belief in the devil? Because that's pure Christianity, the devil, pure Catholicism. Would we get a film like that again? Oh yeah, we are. We're getting The Exorcist, aren't we? The new Exorcist movie. Oh yeah, of course we are. Silly me. But it doesn't seem to fit with the agenda and the narrative that you get these days, does it? Really? But the devil moves in mysterious ways. He makes work for idle hands. He does this, he does that. He's the biggest trickster known. So maybe it's all him orchestrating everything that's happening around us right now. Who knows? Remember that big interstellar visitor we had a few years ago? I don't mean 3i Atlas, which is now speeding out of our solar system, having not done anything at all. It was just foretold. Unless it turns around and comes back again. It's haha, fooled you. Maybe it's on its own detour. Maybe it's being diverted by cosmic Satanists. It's going to come back to us. It's like, oh no, I don't want to be on Earth. Oh no. But Oumuamua, remember that one? The big cigar-shaped thing. No, it's like the ship from Life Force with the nudie space vampires. But listen to what she's shrieking here. Oh, shut up. I'm gonna lose the bit now. Oumuamua, Oumuamua. It's coming back, folks. It's coming back. It's had a big diversion on Celestis 3. It's going to come speeding back our way. Right, the devil in the detail. He's amongst us. He walks amongst us. But he isn't just one. He's legion. And this film definitely makes that point, doesn't it? Everyone's involved in it. This is the stupidity of it, because everyone can just close down. Just having fun. It's storytelling. It's storytelling. And it works. I have a blast with this movie. This is also from the same soundtrack. I sound like, oh, this is great. Oh, wow, wow. Warren Oates, fabulous actor. Peter Fonda, fabulous actor. Loretta Swit, brilliant. Lara Parker. I think does more acting in this movie than Loretta Swit does. But they're both great, you know. Sadly, they are pigeonholed as the damsels in distress. They don't really do a great deal. They're always, but they find the books on blood sacrifices. But they also don't do fuck all when the shit hits the fan. Really, it's the blokes who are rising to the occasion. There are loads of shots in this where Peter Fonda, from a profile, looks like Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood from the same sort of time period. Clint from 71, 72, with obviously Dirty Harry and Play Misty for Me and all that, and all that kind of stuff. But Peter Fonda has a side-on profile, and he looks a lot like Clint Eastwood. Just thought I'd throw it in there. What the hell, you know? What the hell? What the hell? Anyway, watch Race with the Devil. Enjoy it. Take it for what it is. It is a Tales of the rather totally expected, but also it's a great circuitous route to get us back to where we started from. But it's loads of stuff The thrills and spills are great. The music's phenomenal. The performances are great. The road action stunts are, you know, absolutely top class. And, you know, it's a genre mashup which works. You don't sit there watching it question like, well, hang on a minute. For fuck, is it the devil or what? Is the devil doing all this? You know, it's just people who believe in the devil. Well, the way the whole thing is constructed so fiendishly that, you know, well, is the devil's hand at work as well? I'm using my minions to do this, and I'm having fun. I'm just watching this, like the gods, the Greek gods, watching, you know, Jason and the Argonauts. You know, like, let's just let him fight. You know, an 80-foot tall fucking stone bronze giant. Stone bronze. That's a unique combination. A bronze giant called Talos. Let him do this. Let him do that. Let him have these different, you know, obstacles to overcome. The devil could sit there and go like, well, I'm gonna test my minions. Let's see if you can stop him. Oh, you're getting boring now. I'm gonna fucking, I'll do it. I'm gonna bring him back to the same fucking tree. I'll make it obvious for you folks. Here's the tree, right? Set fire to them, barbecue them, sacrifice them. There you go. Can you imagine a remake of this? Can you? I can. Won't be good. Won't be good. A24 might do something like this. You know, but it wouldn't be massive road action now, would it? There'd be lots of meetings, like walking cross country from cottage to cottage, house to house, and being, you know, meeting various ne'er-do-wells and weirdos, and some friendly folk who turn out to be the worst folk of all. That would be how it would happen. And end up back at the same sacrificial spot. I can see this being remade, but utterly remodeled. Thing is, I still reckon they'd get away with this. Oh dear, they're surrounded by knobheads and a bit of fire. Right, floor this. Shotgun. Boom, 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 boom. Run them over. Keep on driving. They'll probably get caught in the same shallow riverbed as they got caught before at the start of the movie. But at least make a break for it. Make a break for it. So I think a remake would do that. They'd probably get away with it. And then they'd be arrested for multiple murders. That would be how it ends. Like, what, Satanists, you say? Have you kids been doing drugs? And what on earth we go like, kids, I'm 65. And they get hauled off to court and all that, like, and of course all the counsellors and all the jury and the judge, they're all Satanists. They're all like, yeah, you're going down. When we say down, you're going down to the pit. Folks, I'm out of here. I've finally done the review, which has fucking crippled me for the last 2-3 weeks now. There's probably more I could say about it, but let's not bother. I'm starving now. So anyway, folks, please, in the meantime, this ever, like, keep an eye on the rear view mirror, because the devil could be behind you, and like, fucking go like the wind. Go like the wind. Outrun the devil in between time. Please keep it Kilty, keep it Celtic. I'm going to see you all later. 80s horrors coming soon. Very soon. Folks, go watch Race with the Devil. Many of you have seen it. Watch it again. Catch it again. It's on all sorts of platforms. You can buy it on DVD, Blu-ray, and fucking hell, it is there. It's available, and it's great, good fun. Should you be in that mindset? I'm out of here.